Alright guys, I saw somebody do this the other day. And I'm going to try it because I ran out. I'm running low on my peeled garlic. This thing is annoying me. I have my bib on, yes, because I don't want to ruin my new shirt. One of my shirts, my pretty shirts that I have. And it doesn't really cover this that much, but it's all right. They put the garlic in a jar. And they shake it. And the peel comes off. I'm going to see if this works now. Okay, because I hate peeling garlic. That's why I don't buy it. I mean, I do if I have to, you know, if I can't swing the other one, or if I, you know. You're going to hear my husband laughing on and off because he's watching a movie, and the living room is right next to the kitchen. If you guys are new here, you don't know. If you're not new, you know. And he has his headphones on, but he's still, you know, you hear him laughing. So, oh, that one's peeled already. And that one's peeled already. Alright. Oh, no, that one didn't go through. Alright. Let's get rid of all this crap here. Let's see if this works, guys. We're gonna see. Okay. And it was a glass jar that she did it in. It looks like it's happening. It looks like it's happening. Let's see. I don't know. All right, some. Okay. Not perfect, but a few. I have to put it back in. If I still have to do this, then it's not doing such a great job. But there is some that peeled, so let's put the rest in and give it a couple of more shaky shakes. Okay. Let's try it again. I'm going to ask my husband to give it a couple shakes. I'll just do it myself. Shake, shake, shake. Shake, shake, shake. Shake your booty. Shake your garlic. Come on. I don't have all day to be doing this. All right. All right, people. Let's see what we got here. Wow, not that great. great. Not that great. I mean, it definitely does it, but it doesn't do it too well because the majority of them are not, the peel is not off. That's a pain in the booty.
Here is your reminder. Manjaro.
Thank you, Alexa. Alexa, stop. This one didn't even budge a little. That's right. Well, you know what? Since I'm doing it, I'm probably just going to do them all this way. No, I really don't have time for that because it's already 2 o'clock. Guys. Did I even start this video? I don't even know. Did I even say, welcome back to an episode of Crate with Linda? I think I did. I hope I did. If not, welcome back to an episode of Crate with Linda. We're doing we're doing Monday, Funday, Italian Sunday, Monday, Funday. I think I did. I don't remember what I did 2 minutes ago, guys. I really don't. All right. Let me finish these, getting these couple more big ones open, and then I'll be back with you guys. All right, guys. It wasn't the best thing. I mean, it did do some, but not a lot. I had to peel a lot of them, but maybe it's. I'm trying to remember what jar she did use. I think she used a glass jar, like a jar like this. I'm pretty sure. So I don't know, but it did do some. So if you do it a little bit, you know. I don't know. It was a good try. Anyway, all right. So I'm just gonna cut this garlic up. I'm cutting up a lot because I put it in the gravy, and it's 6 cans of gravy, so you need a lot of garlic. And I'm also gonna save some for the meatballs. I'm gonna put a little bit in the meatballs. I'm gonna mince it more for the meatballs, and for the meatballs I'll do this, and for the gravy I'll use this because I don't want it so small with the gravy. I like it a little bit bigger. Just trying to get all the skin out of there. Yeah, for the meatballs I want it more minced. For the gravy I want it a little bit bigger. So I'm gonna start with the oil and the onion and the sausage. And then we'll put the garlic in right before I put the, I have to blend these tomatoes too. I'll put the garlic in right before I put the sauce in, so it doesn't burn. All right, that's good for the garlic for the gravy. Okay. Let's do the onion. This will cut up for the, push this over. I have a half an onion here that I didn't use yesterday that I will utilize. It's not that big, so I'm gonna have to do the other one too. But this garbage bowl thing here, this garbage thing, guys, is so awesome. If you ever want to get one, go to Amazon. I'm not sponsored by them or whatever, but my husband got me this for Christmas a couple of years ago, and this is my second one. I love it. It is amazing. It's right here. Put all the garbage in. The only thing is your family tends to put everything in here and then they don't empty it. You know what I mean? So they think it's a garbage pail. But I love it for the, for the counter. You can dump things right in there. It's just really, really good. So if you ever want to get your friends or your mother or your daughter or somebody a gift, do it. Because I'm telling you, you will love it. They will love it. Alright, I don't want the onions in huge, big pieces, so I'm just going to cut them long ways and then cut them like small. Not small, but not, not where they'll burn, but just because Julie's not big on onion, pieces. So I try to make them as small as possible. Whew, gotta be careful. I got nice sharp knives now. I got news for you. This onion doesn't look. I just bought these onions, and they don't look. This one does not look that good. You never know what you're gonna get. The middle part of it, look, say. The middle part of it is like brown. Nope. Do you know that the hottest part of the onion? That's the strongest part of the onion. Somebody told me that. I think I read it or saw it somewhere. I saw it somewhere. All right, let's put the pan on. I got my other pot because my yellow pot that I always use for gravies and stuff is downstairs with the macaroni and cheese in it. So I'm not using that one. So I'm going to use my stainless steel, which I love. All right, let's put the pot on. We'll put olive oil in it. I'm going to put it on like low, medium. Let's get the olive oil. You will always be holy. I was just listening to my gospel music. Oh, I love it. You will always be. Some olive oil. Just enough to coat the pan. And we're going to put the sausage in. Well, we're going to put the onions in first. I'm making all this sausage, guys. Because we're big sausage eaters and everybody loves it. So there's, let's see, 2, 4, 6, 8, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. There's 16 sausage. Oil gets a little hot. Let me get my picker-upper. You want to hear that sizzle? I'm gonna wait 3 minutes and then put the garlic in. But I gotta get the tomatoes going. I have to blend the tomatoes up. 1 second, guys. I'm just cutting this garlic a little bit smaller for the meatballs, and I'll put it in the bowl with the meat for the meatballs. Because after I get the gravy going, I want to get the gravy going first, and then I'll do the meatballs because I have to fry up the meatballs and stuff. So this video will be a little bit long today, but that's okay. I haven't done a long one in a while. It's not going to be too long, but you know. I haven't made my Italian gravy in a while either. But here we are, Italian Funday Monday. I'm so used to saying Sundays because I usually do them on Sundays. Alright, like I said, I want them really small for the meatballs because I don't want you to get big chunks of garlic. I mean, even though it's delicious. We love it. My husband loves it, but I'd rather them be really tiny. I could have put it in my little chopper, but it's just as well. This is how you cut, guys. You just with a rocking motion, rocking. I learned that from Rachel Ray. From 30-minute meals. All right, so that's good. Be careful. This is a really sharp knife, so take the other side and use the other side. I used to use the other bad, the nice side. It's not a good idea. All right, so that's going in here for the meatballs because that's where the bowl is. What the bowl is for. All right, let's get a spoon. Let's mix this onions up, and then we'll get. I'm not going to put the garlic in until after I put the sausage in. All right. All right, let's garlic in. I mean, let's get the sausage in. I really should make more sausage because they fight over them. It's never enough. Seems, everybody has to share. Kind of want them to be on the, if they can be touching the bottom, so this way, you know, they get a little crisp on them. I don't want them burnt, but I want a nice little char on them. All right, let's get rid of this and this. Try to clean up as we go. Put this over here. And let me get the blender, and we're going to start blending up the tomatoes. I have 1 can of crushed and the rest is all plum tomatoes, guys. Again, I apologize for my husband. I'll be right back. All right, guys, so I went out and got some basil out of the garden. I'm gonna put it in here with the sauce, with the tomatoes, because that's what I do. And I have parsley. This way I don't have to chop it in there. So it'll just go in there and it'll be chopped up. I bought home, I have parsley out in my garden, but not a lot, and I don't want to use it. So I bought another thing of parsley today at the food store that I'll just use. So I just rinse it, squeeze it, and then put it in a paper towel. And this literally lasts for like a month and a half. I'm not even kidding. It's really, really good. So when I get more parsley, I'll use that parsley. You know what I mean? It's not going to go, believe me, it's not going to go to waste. So I'm going to put some parsley in. Now, I don't put them in all the tomatoes that I chop up, because if it's in some of the tomatoes, it's in some of the tomatoes. All right, are you ready to put the garlic in there? So I'm going to, I don't want the garlic to burn. What?
Have a plate?
Yeah, 1 second. So I'm just putting a can of that in there so it doesn't burn, so the garlic doesn't burn.
Thank you.
Just keep, you know, take out whatever you want. Or you could put, if you don't want to put it in your sauce, you can always put it in your chopper, or you can chop it. You know, there are times when I chop it, but not anymore. Rarely. All right, so I just wanted to do that so this way the parsley, the garlic doesn't burn. Gonna give it a good little mix. And when you mix it, the sauce, honey, I really think that I'm losing my mind. when you mix the sauce, you have to scrape on the bottom because where all the sausage was, all that sausage, you know, that cooked in there, that's all flavor. So you just gotta scrape the bottom of the pan because you want all of that flavor in your sauce. I really think that some days I just feel very disoriented, and today's one of those days. All right, okay, guys, let's get the tomatoes going. I'm just going to show you a little bit of that. I'm not going to do it because it's very noisy and you guys really don't want it. Let's put some more in. I don't put 2 cans in because it'll overflow, so I just put like a 1.5. Okay. And I'm just going to chop. I'll do crush, grate, I don't know, whatever it is. Puree. See that, all that green? That's what I want. And I'm just gonna pour it in there. Now this is 6 cans. I I did 6 cans because, well, first of all, you know, when I make a pot of gravy, I'm making a pot of gravy. You know what I mean? But what happens is once it cooks, because I let it cook 3-4 hours, you know, 2-3-4 hours, and what happens is it evaporates, so you lose a lot of the sauce. Not a lot of the sauce. You lose some of the sauce. So you might have to add another can later on if you want, or if you want to save it for, you know, leftovers or whatever, you could add another can or two if you have to do that. But right now I'm just making 6, and that's really all I'm going to be able to fit in this pot anyway. I think it's even going to be cutting it close. I don't even think it's all going to fit, honestly. I'm probably going to have to wait till it evaporates a little bit, but that's okay. All right, let's crush up the other cans. So I'll be back, guys. I'm going to crush up the cans, and then I'll be back with you guys. All right? And I'll show you how else it goes. I'll be right back. All right, guys. So I put the last can in there. What I do is I always put water in the blender, because we're always going to need water in here, no matter what. It's always going to get thick. You always need a little bit of water, and it's going to need water anyway. So, and I don't want to waste whatever sauce is in here. Okay, so that's what I do. Okay, you got to utilize everything you got. Everything. Okay, so that's 6 cans of sauce. And I put 1 crushed tomato because I had 1 crushed already, and then I had 2 plum, because I usually, when I do my gravies, I use, oh, here's another one. That's all right. My hands are clean. I'm just going to crush this up and put that in there, because I did want a little bit of tomatoes in here. I forgot about that one. Maybe I got to check the others. I had 2 peeled already, and I had 1 crushed at home, and then they had 3, for 6, like I was telling you, with my grocery haul. So I got 3. Just got to get all the excess out. And I'm going to keep 1 can, as you can see. My mother did this growing up. She always kept 1 can for the spoon and all of that right next to the pot. So that's what I do. And just make sure we get all this out of there. Okay, these are all going to go in the recycle. Give me 1 second. I'll be right back. I'm just gonna rinse my hands outside. Some people are saying that I gotta talk louder, that they're not hearing me. One person said it, I don't know. Sorry about that, guys. I don't know, I might get a microphone. I used to have a microphone, but I don't know. I ended up never wearing it and everything, so I don't know. But I will try to speak as louder if I can, okay? As long as I remember. Woo. All right, so let's give this a little seasoning now, okay? Let's shut the light off. We'll do garlic powder, the $6 garlic powder that I just bought that I was telling everybody about. It's craziness, but it is what it is. See, it's right up to the top, guys, with all the water and stuff. Yeah. Now, this is a lot of garlic powder, but it's, you know, it's a lot of gravy, so probably about, I don't know, maybe 3 tablespoons. That's garlic. Onion. It says powder, but it's a little bit fine. It's a little bit it's not as fine as the powder. This is the one from the Dollar Tree, which I happen to like. I like this one. I like the one that's a little bit, you know, not as fine as the others. Okay, here's, I'm going to do dried parsley. I always do dried parsley, even if I have fresh. I'm going to use that for my meatballs too, so I'll keep this out. I'm going to have to cut some up for my meatballs. Here's basil, some fresh parsley, I mean. Basil, and then I'll do Italian seasoning. I mean, Italian seasoning has probably the same stuff like basil. It does have it. It does have all that stuff. We're going to do salt. I'm not going to sit here with the shaker. I'm just going to do a couple of rounds. That's it. Because we'll salt the pasta too. Don't want to go too crazy with the salt. All right. We'll do pepper. Just going to do a little pepper. All right. We got pepper, we got salt. Garlic powder, onion powder, we put pepper, salt. now I'm just going to use a little bit of Italian seasoning. Yeah, Italian seasoning has what? Oh, oregano, marjoram, thyme, basil, and rosemary. Oh, and sage. Okay. I didn't realize that, but you could smell the rosemary and thyme. Never realized that. Huh. And again, there's a lot of sauce here, guys, so not that much. Don't get crazy. People are like, oh my God, you put too much. You know what? I had a lady say to me once, one of my YouTuber people, fans. One of my YouTuber friends said, Linda, my food tastes like something now. Since I've been watching you, my family's been like such in awe because you taught me how to cook. You taught me how to season, because she was always afraid to season. She thought it would be too much, it would be too salty, it would be too this, it would be too that. But she says, oh my God, what a difference in her food. So, you just got to use your own judgment. Taste it. If you don't taste anything, then it needs something. It needs something else. If you don't taste anything, you got to taste a little bit of something. Okay? And then you just, you be a little conservative. So this way you don't over season. But with me, I've done it for so long that I know exactly, like, what should go in. You know what I mean? And then sometimes I'll taste it and I'll be like, oh my God, I have to add more of this. Oh my God, I have to add more of that. That's why you taste as you go. You should always taste your food. And I put Parmesan cheese in it. I forgot to get the real grated cheese. I have the processed, which is not that great for us, but I'm just going to use up what I have because sometimes it's really a little bit unaffordable too to get the block. But I can get the one in the container, which I think I have in the refrigerator. Honestly, I have to look in there. My refrigerator's a mess right now. It's another thing I got to get to. All right, so what we're going to do with this is I'm going to let this come up. We seasoned it well. I'm going to let this come up to a little bit of a simmer. I'm going to higher it just a little bit, just till it comes to like a low simmer, for a few minutes. And then I'll put it on the back burner, cover it, and let it simmer. It's 2:45. Probably it'll be ready by 6. We can eat by 6, okay? It'll be ready by then. That's how long. But so what I'm going to do is let this do what it has to do. And then I'm going to start the meatballs, because the meatballs, I have to fry the meatballs up. Oh, it's a pain in the butt. But it's worth it to fry it. I've tried baking them and this and that. And every time my husband says it's just not the same. And it isn't. It isn't the same. Even if you put it on a high flame in the oven on 400, they don't come out the same. And for the amount of time that I make Italian gravy, we can afford to have little fried meatballs. You know what I mean? I don't really fry a lot, guys. I really don't. And when I do fry, I never deep fry. I do olive oil. Like, the only thing I really fry is like chicken cutlets, and that's once in a blue moon too. Or, whatever I'm sauteing or frying, I use the majority of the oil that I use is olive oil. And I can tell you that because I have a thing of vegetable oil in there that I have at least for 3 months now that I never use. It's almost to the end of it. And it's been here for 3 months. And once in a blue moon, if I make fried chicken, I'll have to get more, But like this right now, like when I went to the food store, I'm like, oh, I don't need oil. I have this oil. This is plenty for probably another month. I hardly use this, I'm telling you. So even like when I fry the meatballs, you'll see I do some it'll be enough now because I have the vegetable. I don't need that. Yeah, I'm glad I have that for the vegetable oil. For the meatballs, I'll do some vegetable oil, and then the rest I do olive oil. That's just what I do, and it always works out good. And I'm using a better oil for us, so. That's the story, glory. All right, let me cut some parsley up. I'm gonna do it once, so I don't feel like sitting here and twice doing it. Parsley's a pain in the booty, because you gotta take you don't have to. Like, if I wanted to blend it in the blender, I could blend up the stems. I don't want really the stems in there, but all right. Oh wait, so yeah, let me do a little bit more because I'm putting it in the meatballs, and I'm putting it. Oh shoot, I wanted to put some basil in the meatballs. God darn it. I'm gonna have to go back outside and get some more. I have some more out there. I'll put some in the meatballs. I don't know what I was thinking. All right, so what I do with this, like I said, guys, You wrap it up in the moist towel. Right after you rinse it, you squeeze it out, you dry it a little bit, and then you put it in a paper towel and you put it in a Ziploc bag. And I'm telling you, it'll last a month. Basil, forget about it. Basil, it lasts 2 days if you buy it like in the store if you buy the plant like I did. I bought the plant and stuck it in my garden outside so it would grow, but it's not. It's just flopping. So that's that. So I guess basil I'll be buying basil again this fall and winter and the rest of the summer. So it is what it is, guys. You can only do what you can do, you know. All right, so that's what I do with this. Get all the air out. I'm telling you guys, over a month. Okay, just don't forget you have it. I always lose it and gotta have it and everything else. All right, so I'm gonna take. There's a lot of stems here. Look at all these stems. Look. See, this is what I'm talking about. It's a pain in the butt, but you know, if you want it to be flavored, if you want to taste it to taste good, it's something that you do once in a while. So you just gotta go with it, you know. As far as like my depression's going, things are definitely better. I'm definitely feeling better. I still have some lows here and there, but I really basically am feeling good. Like I'm not having any, you know, I'm interested in doing things. I'm drawing again. I'm motivated in the kitchen mostly. I mean, yesterday, well, I'll tell you, 3 days ago I wasn't. Like I just didn't feel like really doing much of cooking. My husband's like, can I get a home cooked meal? Because I am, you know, he's used to me making home cooked meals. I mean, and we ate leftovers one night, and it was still home cooked, and then we bought out a couple of nights, you know, and it was just, you know, it can be difficult sometimes. Sometimes I'm not in the mood, and and I'm just like, you know, when my husband isn't home, sometimes I'll be like, let's all fend for ourselves. Like the other night, last Thursday, I told the kids, let's just fend for ourselves. I had leftover, what did I have left over? What did I make the other night? What was that meal I made? So I'm just trying to get most of the stems off. Like I said, I'm not worrying about 100% of them. 80-90% I get. Because I'm not chopping it up in the chopper. What did I make the other night that I ate? Oh, chicken cacciatore. I had that, and I made some mashed potatoes for myself with it, because we had noodles, but there's no noodles left with it. So I had mashed potatoes, and the kids got with, you know, Julie has a little deli by her job, and Thursdays, a lot of times she does get a little something there. So she got something for her and Darren to share, and Frankie got a couple slices of pizza, and, you know, then there's stuff here that they can even make too, leftovers or, you know, frozen pizzas or whatever. You know, they just, they're, you know, not to be mean, but they are a little lazy, so for them, they'd rather just buy something, you know, but sometimes they don't have the money, or, you know, they want to save the money, and they, you know, they do prefer me cooking, they do, but sometimes I just want to cook for myself. I just want it to be easy. I want to have some scrambled eggs and bacon, you know, and my husband, even when my husband's home, sometimes we'll do grilled cheese. Well, we do grilled cheese and soup and stuff a lot in the winter and fall and stuff. But if we had cans of soup in there, I would make sandwiches and soup. Sometimes we just have sandwiches, you know. Sometimes you just need a break. And I need a break a lot from filming, because I put a lot of pressure on myself to film, because I do film my What's for Dinners, and that's my content, a lot of it, you know, so I try to do other things. And I used to feel so guilty when I would miss filming. I don't anymore, guys. I mean, it does bother me. Sometimes I'm like, oh my God, I didn't film, how, you know, and I feel so bad. But I realize that it's my mental health that I need to take care of mostly, and I have to do it sometimes. And it's summer, you know. Fall and winter, I go heavy on the videos. This year, I don't think I'm going to go as heavy as I did last year, but I'm definitely going to do a lot of baking and stuff like that, but not as much as I did last year. Yeah, so, you know, I take it easy, and my channel reflects it, you know, because you don't get as many subscribers, you don't get as many views, and that's okay. You know, that's okay. I'm not torturing myself over it, because you know what? It's a job, and every job you need vacation, you need time off, you need to, refocus. You need to, you know,
Oh my God.
replenish. What?
Idiot.
Oh, he's talking on the television. You need to replenish. You need to, for your mental health, and you really need to today and just, you know, I mean, not that I don't need the money. We really do need the money. The money, everything is so expensive. Everything is like double and triple. It's crazy, guys. Like I don't even like. I walk into the food store and I'm like, I don't even know how they expect us to do this. Like, when is it going to change? We have a change in office. I don't know. Let's do it. Let's see something. Let's see some change. You know, enough already. Anyway, that's all the politics I'm gonna say. I'm not saying anything else. I don't talk about politics on my page because it just would not be good. Regardless of who I'm for, I won't even say because it wouldn't be good. Because everybody has a different opinion. Everybody has a different choice, and everybody's allowed for that. And you know, I don't want to be whatever. So also, I wanted to say I'm so sorry for the people that have gone to a place to come. Oh, guys, I dropped the ball so much with that. If you guys don't know, if you're new here, it's called A Place to Come on YouTube, and it's another channel that I do regarding about the disabled and, you know, life with Jennifer and all of that, and just a lot of struggles and everything. And I'm so sorry that I haven't been there. I'm going to get back to it. Please, guys, try to go check it out, A Place to Come. I'm going to get back there, I promise. But it's been rough. It really has. I'm getting, you know, Create with Linda going and, you know, still holding on to that pretty good and, you know, with some ups and downs and stuff. But I'm going to get back to that because that's my passion. That's really my passion. This is my passion, cooking and all that, but that's really, really very important to me. And I don't want you guys to think it's not. All right, so I got the majority of the stems out. Okay, like I said, I don't mind if there's a few in here. I'm not putting it in the chopper. Sometimes I don't like the way it comes out in the chopper. But yeah, I don't really like the big ones in here because then I have to chop them up too. Hungry. I really didn't eat much. I had a slice of leftover pizza, but I really didn't eat it. Kind of hungry now.
Why didn't you eat it?
I ate like the toppings, basically. I don't know. What? Bill!
Sorry.
Oh, guys, this is real life. That's what I
Real
always say
life.
when something unfortunate happens. And we've had a lot of unfortunate things happen on here. We won't talk about them. If you want to go see, go look at the older video. I don't know. We're not perfect. All right. I don't pretend to be perfect. All right. That's good. That's it. The gravy's starting to boil now, so I'm going to I'm going to give it a good little mix. I don't want it to burn or anything. And I've never really used this pot to make gravy in, so I got to make sure that it doesn't burn or anything. You know, the bottom doesn't burn or anything. Ooh, it's starting to bubble. All right, let's give it a little mix from the bottom. Yeah, it doesn't feel like it's burning. All right, I want it to just simmer like another 10 minutes, and then I'm going to put it over there on Jesus, it's overflowing. What else is in the Linda? I want it to simmer like 10 more minutes, and then we'll put it on the lower flame. All right, let's cut this parsley up, guys. And then get the meatballs going. Once the meatballs are done, then I'm done. You know, then it's over. All right, let's do the meat. Let's do this. Use a sharp knife. And like I said, there are definitely going to be a little bit of stems, but the stems are going to be cut up. You know, whatever, like the little ones, if I see them, I'll take them out. You know, but I'm not going to really worry about it. Oops. Can't leave a piece of... Oh, I got to go out and get the basil. Sometimes I wonder if this brain even works. Comment down below if you're my age, so almost 60. I'll be 60 in December. And you're forgetful and you're unfocused and you're flighty and you're, what's the word? What's the word I'm trying to find? You're just off, you know? I think it's also stress. It comes with stress and what's happening in that moment. And, you know, it's medications that you're on. It's your, like I have diabetes. That kind of goes into it. Brain fog. Like it's brain fog, you know, between being of age, getting up there, and then, you know, the medications I'm on, and the diabetes damaging the brain cells, and, you know, this thing, the high blood pressure medicine, the cholesterol medicine, this, that, and the other thing, the antidepressant that you take to be sane, you know, gives you other issues. So it's all relevant, you know, it's all relevant, and it affects everything. It really does. It really, really does. So you got to take all that into consideration, you know. Some days I think I have Alzheimer's. I'm like, oh my God. My dad had Alzheimer's in the late stage of his life. But, I mean, they said it was more from him having a lot of surgeries because he had bladder cancer, and so he had a lot of anesthetic, you know. So they said it brought it on, but yeah, so some days, you know, I get nervous. I'm like, oh my God, I forget what I walked in the room for. I forget my train of thought sometimes as I'm speaking. And I have to think a minute before I speak. I don't know. Supposedly it's normal if you go to the food store and you can't find your car, but it comes back to you after a minute, like after like 20 seconds something. If it comes back to you and you're like, oh, there, I remember, there it is. That's when you don't have to worry. If you can't ever find your car, like you just can't, like you really you're blank, then it's something to be a little concerned about, they said. So I go by that. I go by that. All right, so I don't want this too minced, guys, so I'm going to put a nice amount in there. I like to taste the fresh parsley and the fresh basil. Okay, I'm going to go out and get basil. I'm going to leave this here. Oops. This is for, I'm using the other side of the knife now. This is for later. I'm going to put this in the gravy. This is for later. I will put it in a little bowl and cover it for later for the pasta and all that. And I can always cut up some more too. All right, I'll be right back. I'm going to go get basil, and I'm going to also put that on the back flame. I'll do that right now with you guys. Yes, I'm using the other side, not the sharp side, because I will cut myself, which I have done numerous of times. All right, let me get the thingies. All right, let's shut this off. Because I'm gonna do the meatballs over here anyway. All right, let's carefully put this on the back. Oh, this is gonna be rough. All right, let's put this here. And this is the lower flame, guys. This one over here, this is like a medium low, which is a little bit higher, you know, it's a higher. This is medium, and this one here is really low. I like to put it on this one so it doesn't burn or anything. I put it on the highest of the low, you know what I mean? Because it's not that high, but I'll do that for like a little while. I'll keep checking it, and then we'll lower it if it needs to be lowered. So I'll let this cook a good 2.5, 3 hours on low. All right? And that's how the sausage becomes really, really tender. Like the sausage is like butter after being in the pot for all that time. It's like butter. All right, I'll be right back. I'm gonna go get some basil. More droopy basil. All right, guys, I cut up some basil. Okay, I went out there. I might as well take the basil that's out there and use it because it's droopy. So if I leave it out there, it's just gonna die. I'm not gonna utilize it. So most of it's gone. I have maybe 2 or 3, 4 leaves left. I can utilize this through the, you know, tomorrow or the rest of the week or whatever. So yeah, so that's basil. Okay, that's fresh basil. Get all the goodiness off of there. Like I said, I got fresh parsley, fresh basil. I know I should have done it when I was out there, but I'm probably gonna get a little bit more basil for later to put in the on top of the pasta too. I love basil and the parsley on top of the pasta after it's done. All right, and I have more out there. Like I said, I want to utilize it. All right, so we're gonna let me get rid of this parsley and put it somewhere so it's nice and safe, and I'll put it in the refrigerator. You guys, let's put all this in there. I was outside and I heard my husband laugh. He's having fun. So, me and my husband, we don't really take many vacations. I take a cruise with my girls, and I do things here and there. He's always like pushing me and encouraging me to do it, and I feel guilty because he doesn't do a lot. He works and all that, and we were gonna go camping, and then that just we didn't have really all the stuff, and it just a hassle, and so and the heat and all that. So I said, so a couple of years back, we went to this place in PA, which was like 2.5 hours away from us. Not even two. No, it's 2 hours. Not even 2 hours. And it was beautiful. It's Mohegan Sun, over by Mohegan Sun. The casino over there. There's a resort there, and it has an indoor pool. It has little restaurants. It has an outdoor pool. It's so much fun. They have little theme nights and stuff like that. And so we decided to do that because it really wasn't that expensive. It was very, very reasonable to go there. It was really reasonable. The rooms were beautiful, and it was really reasonable. So we booked it there, and then I thought to myself, oh my God, my girlfriend Joan, my best friend, we always want to do something together. Me and her want to do a girls thing. I went up to her house a couple of months ago, and Billy and I, for her 60th birthday and all that, we just want to get together so much, and we never do because of money and just because of time. Really, it's basically time. It's not even money because I go to her house and I stay there. We don't have to spend a dime. You know what I mean? So it's not about the money. For me, a little bit is because I like to have some money when I go there. Whatever. But it's mainly time because she works a full-time job. She was going to retire, then she decided not to. So our time is limited again. Anyway, I said to her, why don't you and her husband, Todd, why don't you guys meet us there? It's halfway. She lives 3.5 hours, almost 4 hours into Pennsylvania. And it's only halfway. So we asked them, and they were like, yes. And she spoke to her husband. So they're going to meet us there. I'm so excited. It's going to be like a girly husband and couples weekend. Friday and Saturday, and we go home Sunday. I'm so excited, guys. I'm so excited to meet my bestie. And her husband and my husband get along. We're like family, and it's just going to be so much fun. And my husband deserves to go away for a couple of days, He does. So, I'm excited. Let's get these meatballs going because it's already 3 o'clock.
Oh, God.
All right, I bought a small chopped meat because, like I said, the other one was outrageously priced. It was $17 for a big one, which I would normally buy the big one for my family, but this is an accompaniment to something, making meatballs and sausage and pasta. So I don't need a whole friggin' 3, dozen, whatever. I don't need 25,000 meatballs. So yes, guys. So I'm gonna try to get my videos and really try to. I'll probably tape a little bit there. I say that, but a lot of times when I'm out and about with my family or my girls or whatever, I always seem to not pick up the camera. A little bit here and there. I did on the cruise and stuff. I might do a little bit, but I'm gonna try to prepare myself with a couple of videos to put out. At least one video to put out while I'm away. That Saturday to post. Or something like that, or some chatty things, or something like that. I'm going to try my best. Can't guarantee it, but that's what I'm going to do. All right, so when I do my meatballs, I just want to like make a little hole in the chopped meat. Let's do some onion powder. Now, like I said, it looks like a lot of seasoning, but it's not for what I'm making, okay? So I just kind of do that, probably like 3 tablespoons. Okay, that's onion powder. Let's do some, tried. I gotta tell my husband to put the air on. I'm sweating my petunias off over here. I really am, I'm sweating. All right, probably about 2 tablespoons of parsley. And I like that, you know, the dried parsley doesn't flavor it as much as it does give it color. So I like that. All right, now I have to remember what I did, so I put them over here. So this way I know that I put that in there, because otherwise I will forget. Right, so this was onion, parsley, let's do garlic. And I'm gonna put, where's the fresh garlic? I put it in here already. Yeah, there's fresh garlic in here already, so I'm not gonna go overly crazy with the garlic. What else? So we're gonna do basil, even though I have the fresh basil. Okay. And I'm not gonna go crazy with the Italian seasoning because I did put the other stuff in, but I am gonna put a little bit because it has the other stuff in it as well. Okay? So you want a lot of flavor. And let me get the grated cheese, which is inside. Oh wait, is this one empty? Yeah, I think I used this one, right? Let me take yours over here and mix the gravy up. And like I said, I call it gravy because it has meat in it. Growing up, that's what it was. If there's gravy, if there's meat in it, brajol, sausage, meatballs, pork, whatever, it's called gravy. If there's no meat, it's marinara. Some people, and some people in my family call it sauce too. They call it sauce. I call it gravy, and I will never change that. That was my dad. My dad made a famous gravy, so delicious with meat in it and everything. And I just want to hold on to my traditions and to my family's traditions. And I'm Italian, and I want to always stay Italian. Anyway, guys, yeah, that's just me. All right, I'm going to put breadcrumbs in here, eggs, and water. I'll be back in a second. Action. Action.
Yeah!
Action. All right, I put 2 eggs in here, guys. I went in the back for the grated cheese and didn't get the grated cheese.
Did you put the real eggs in?
Yep, I put the real eggs from the chicken in. From the chicken. They're all from the chicken, I know that, but they're from the chicken, literally, from person. I don't know. They're not store-bought, put it that one.
Hey, Don, if you see Davison today, tell him to bring us 2 dozen eggs tomorrow. Yeah, bring 2 dozen tomorrow. If you don't see him, then I'll tell him tomorrow to bring them on Thursday. Thanks.
Yeah, $3 a dozen, you can't beat it.
This way he is. We have a couple days together.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I still have a dozen and a half still, so.
No, I mean for him to forget.
Well, that's what I'm saying. I still have a dozen and a half. Last time I had to buy a dozen, and then the next day he gets them. He's forgetful, so. But, you know, beggars can't be choosers.
Yeah, if you see him, tell him to bring 2 tomorrow.
So I'm just gonna go a little bit light on the grated cheese because I did put salt in there. I did
We
put
don't have
salt.
grated
No, I
memory,
think I did. I don't know if I did. Did I put salt in here?
Yeah, I know.
I don't
As
remember.
good as mine.
I don't think I put, no, I didn't put salt in here. I didn't put salt or pepper. All right, so we'll just go a little simple. You can always add some more salt. Usually what I do is I taste it. I usually fry a little piece and then I taste it. What are you saying about me? Pepper. You like
She
a lot of
didn't know she
pepper.
put salt in her. So.
So what?
Problem?
Yeah, what do you mean? What? I don't remember.
We're talking about memory.
What?
We're talking about memory.
I know. That's what I'm talking about with the phone. So you think I'm kidding?
You got 41 minutes to get to work.
All right, guys. Breadcrumbs. Probably about a half a cup, if that. I don't like my meatballs to be extremely breadcrumbed out. I like them to have a little bit of breadcrumbs to hold it together. That's what I put the eggs in there for. The breadcrumbs and the eggs. All right, so I mix this up. Now, my mother uses water to moisten her meatballs. My mother used water. Some people use milk, some people use chicken broth, some people, I don't know what else they would use, but that's what some people do. I use water. That's just what I do. My sisters, I know, notice when they make their meatballs, they don't do it like I do. They don't put a lot of water in it. They put a little bit of water. Their meatballs are never as moist as mine. Shh, don't tell anybody. And that's because they don't use my mother's recipe. My meatballs always nice and moist. And you know how I know that they're good? When you touch them and they're wet to the touch. Get the hell out of here, fly. They're wet to the touch. So this is almost perfect. It needs a drop more. And that should be good. I'm gonna get the frying pan out. You don't wanna overmix your meat, guys, because if you overmix it, it becomes tough. Sometimes if you have a tough meatball, a tough meatloaf, or a tough burger, it's because you overmixed it. And that's the God's honest truth. I've done it before, believe me. So I'm trying to be a little bit cautious. All right, so everything is mixed up, all the fresh basil and the fresh parsley. You know what really aggravates me? One of my pet peeves is this. I can't stand when it's all left on my hands. To throw it out and to rinse it off makes me so angry. I'm not even kidding. I don't want to waste anything. I don't want to waste the basil or the parsley. I'm trying to get it off, but it doesn't all come off, and you just can't get it all off. All right, so I think what I'm going to do is, since my hands are all kind of dirty already, I'm going to take paper dish, and I'm going to start rolling the meatballs. This way, they'll all be ready. Okay, now I don't want huge meatballs, and I don't want tiny meatballs. I want a kind of medium-sized meatball. Okay. And you know it's going to have good flavor when you see that. When you see the green in there. Okay? That's when you know, you can smell the basil and the parsley, guys. And like I said, I always say this, if the dog's outside, my hands are all full of meat. I can't open the door. If you don't have fresh herbs, there have been years and years I didn't use fresh parsley and fresh basil. Okay, and I use dry, and it's perfectly fine. What? Who? Rocco?
Luca.
Which one was that?
Sweet Luca. I saw her in the bedroom all night last night.
What?
I put her down this morning.
That's one of the newer dogs.
No, not the new one.
No, the newer.
I don't know which one it was.
Oh my God, are you kidding me?
It was walked so quick.
What happened to him?
I don't know. It doesn't say.
One of my brother's dogs had to be put down. God, I didn't see that. I have to go over, I have to text him. Maybe they knew it, that's why they got the other dog. They knew that one was sick, maybe. So anyway, I don't remember what I was talking about the meat. I don't remember what I was saying. Now it might got completely off topic. Bill, can you let the dogs in?
Want me to let him in?
There, I said I have chopped meat all over my
I
hands.
didn't hear you, honey. I didn't hear you, I'm sorry. You know, my hearing.
I was talking about something and now I totally forgot. If you guys remember, comment down below, because I forgot. Oh, I could probably look at the video, obviously. I'll look at the video before, but anyway, yeah. So, meatballs, this way I'll make some, and this way when I put the pan on, I can just start throwing them in. Yeah, I like them, medium size. When I'm making different kind of recipe meatballs, like I made those teriyaki meatballs, I like them definitely smaller than this as well. Just gonna put this on top like this, it's not a big deal. So, Alright, so you guys don't need to sit here and watch me do all of this. I'm gonna mix that gravy up. This fly's flying around. I can't stand it, guys. I'm telling you, I'm constantly killing flies in this house. They get in from the dogs, the adult kids leave the door open as they're chatting, you know, and they get in, and they're just obnoxious. As we all know. Yeah, I'm just gonna finish doing these with you guys. Finish rolling these up. They're nice and wet to the touch, so I know they'll be nice and moist. And Bill, what did they say? What was the matter with him?
Say that again?
Did they say what was wrong with him?
No, I didn't say on that.
Well, what did they say on Facebook that they were at the vet and stuff? I didn't even see that.
They said they were sick, unexpected, and they were heading home. Now they took the dog down this morning. You know how they put little pieces up there?
Yeah, but sick unexpected. That happened to Rocky too.
I know.
What does it always?
They just got a new dog.
I know. I'm wondering if that was the one that they had all those issues with a couple of months ago. Remember?
So, yeah.
I think it was. That was the one who was sickly, and they saved him. He was really, really ill, but he came back. He came back, and he was okay. I wonder if that's which one it was. Unfortunately, I don't speak to my brother that often. We speak on text once in a while. You know, they got their life in South Carolina. They live in where do they live again?
I can't hear you.
Where do they live again?
What?
My brother and Casey. Where do they live again?
North Carolina, South Carolina?
Oh my God.
One of the Carolinas.
It's Carolina, but it's a place.
Oh, Myrtle Beach.
Myrtle Beach. They live in Myrtle Beach, and we don't really, everybody has their own lives, and we don't really see them that often, obviously, and so it's a little rough. But I gotta text him because that's terrible. Tell you guys, when you have animals, it's never easy. Never. You put yourself, just like kids, you just put yourself in a way that you're gonna be heartbroken. All right, before I wash my hands with the meat, any chopped meat that I use, any meat the mixture that I do, I tell you guys all this all the time. I'm just making sure that every single nail is here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. All my nails are here, guys. in the meatballs. Gotta be careful. So anyway, I always tell you guys this. I dry my hands off. I wipe my hands off with paper towel first because what it does is takes all of the meat mixture off of your hand, and then it's easier to wash. Try it. If you wash your hands with the meat mixture all over your hands, it takes forever for the soap to wash them because the soap just slides right off it. So it's definitely better to do this. And that's what I do. And then you're just getting off, You're getting off just the junk that was left on, not any of the big stuff. All the big stuff is gone. Don't use such burning hot water or you will burn yourself. Alright, so let's get I'm going to pause a minute. I'm going to get the frying pan moving and shaking with the oil. We gotta check the sauce, see if we have to lower it or not, or take the cover off. I don't like to keep the cover off because the goddamn flies. I really don't. I don't want to keep the cover off. All right. Oh, it's simmering nice. It's not simmering too high. That's perfect. That's a perfect amount. It's simmering nicely. And it'll get thicker as it goes, guys. And if you need to put a little bit of water in it as it cooks, you know, before it's done or whatever, I'm always adding. You always have to add extra water. All right, I'll be right back, guys. All right, guys, so I'm going to put some vegetable oil in here. I'm going to use just the rest that's in here because it's just to use it up. And now I got to put this on my list because now I'm completely without vegetable oil. I do have, I think, some oil that's in the back there. I got to make sure it's not expired that Lily had sent me when she sent me this whole food order from Wegmans, from where she lives or whatever. And she sent me some oil. I'm not sure what kind of oil it is, though. I gotta look at it. Anyway, that's it with the vegetable oil. So vegetable oil, and then I'm gonna do some olive oil. Not a lot, but you know, enough. So I like the flavor of it too. You know, olive oil is it's expensive, so I don't like to use a lot when I do that. But I'd rather do that than use all the vegetable oil. It's just too much. And like I said, we only do this once in a while, so it's okay. As long as it's in moderation. Did you see Aunt Casey's and Uncle Mike's dog was had to be put down? Yeah, I was just talking on video. I mean on text. All right, guys, so we're gonna let this heat up. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put, oh, I did it already. It's all right, the meatballs are already made. I was gonna taste it. I was gonna make a little bit of the chopped meat. I forgot, that's what I do most of the time. So I'm gonna put this on like medium, because I want them to get brown, but I don't want them to get burnt. So I'll adjust this and everything and see what happens with it. I'm just gonna pick it the rest of it. There's always a little bit left in here. What I'm gonna put the meatballs, the plate over here. So this way, when they come off, we'll do that. Put that there. Put the meatballs over here. And now put the tray that I'm going to use. Well, I have two. Oh, that was from the container that I'm going to put the meatballs in over here. All right, let's move this over. We don't want the paper plate starting on fire. I'll be right back. All right, guys. I always do it with my hands because when I try to pick it up with the thing, they always fall apart and everything, and it's just not good. So, there we go. You want to hear that little sizzle. You got to make sure that the oil is hot because otherwise they'll become greasy. They'll soak up all of the oil. So I'm just going to hire just a little bit more. Like I said, I'm going to keep an eye. As long as they don't get really crispy and black, you know, and like burnt on the bottom, I'll adjust the flame accordingly. Meatballs and spaghetti and meatballs. Whenever I make my Italian gravy, it reminds me of my mom and my nanny and my aunts, and just good times with the family. Just brings back so many memories. That's what life's about, guys, making memories, you know? Making memories with your family. with your extended family, with your friends. You know, when we lived in Florida, we only knew one person when we moved there, literally. So our family, our friends became our family, literally. We would spend Christmases, you know, with them and everything because we just had friends that became our family. And that's what happens. And until this day, they're still our family. All right, so, you know, I didn't make an enormous amount of meatballs, but I made enough. I made enough. All right, so how's this going? How's this going? Nice, guys. Look at that. Yeah. And I'll taste it in a minute. At 4 o'clock, I'll taste it and see if it needs anything. See, it's getting there. It's getting there. Woo! So yummy. I'm going to hire this just a little bit because I want them to brown. Because they're going to cook like a half hour in the gravy. So I want them to get done quickly here. So I'm just going to hire it a little bit. And yeah, I'll be back in a second. But they're the meatballs, the meatballs, the meatballs. All right, people. Let's get some meatballs. Oh yeah, you see how they're getting that little crust there? That's what I don't really want that. But as long as I get to them, yeah, that's fine. As long as they don't get burned, you know, darker than that, I have no issue. But that's what I don't want. I don't want that to get any darker than that. I don't like that like crust on it. I like them a little bit brown and a little bit tiny crispy, but not that really heavy crust. So that's what I have to keep an eye on. But that's fine. I hope the seasoning was on point with this because I forgot to test it. You see what I mean, guys? My brain is just not all there. But it is what it is. It happens. Ooh. So like a couple of minutes on each side, on the other side, and then I'll take those out, and then we'll put the others in. So yeah, these aren't going to take long at all. Not long at all. Be right back. All right, guys. We'll take these out. Just going to use the fork. Carefully. These are definitely done, and like I said, they're going to cook in the sauce. And by the time I get all these out, I'll be able to turn the other ones over and put the other ones in. These are all done here. And I'm not gonna put any salt on them yet because I want to taste one because I'm afraid that they're gonna have too much salt in. These are, I'm gonna make sure these are done. Put these over here. Yeah, flip it over. I'll wash this fork before I use it to take the other meatballs out. Because it has to be that way. And I know somebody will say, Linda, you put raw meatballs, you touch raw meatballs, or you touch cooked meatballs with raw. It just will happen. And that's not why I'm washing it. I'm washing it because I need to, because that's the right thing to do, and that's the sanitary thing to do, but I'm not a perfect person, you know what I mean? So people just don't give you the, you know, the grace. A lot of times. Not everybody, guys. Not everybody. You can't put everybody in the same category. All right. Let's fill this plate. Oh, that plate is dirty too. Oh, but I'll use this plate again. All right. Okay, so those are done. Let's cover these meatballs so no flies get in there. And that's it. Once these are done, we're on our way to have Italian Funday Monday. Yeah, happy hands, happy hands, happy. Guys, look at that. You see? They're amazing. Crispy on the outside a little bit. Perfect. And then moist and delicious in the inside. Alright guys, so I'm going to put the meatballs in here now, okay? One thing about the gravy, when you put the meatballs in, you got to make sure it has enough, like it's thin enough, otherwise, you know, meatballs, you want the gravy to be thin because you don't want, you know, when you mix the meatballs up, you don't want the meatballs to fall apart. So there's got to be enough water in here, you know, enough liquid, and it definitely is. I don't need to add any more water, it's perfect. So, and when you mix it, like I said, be really careful, because you don't want it to become like chutney gravy, you know, you want the meatballs to hold their shape. Now this is definitely a smaller amount of meatballs than I usually make. I usually make double this, but like I said, it's completely fine. We have sausage, plenty. So just put these in here. And I'm just going to let this cook about a half hour, simmer a half hour, and then I'm going to put the water up and we're going to eat. This will be done by 6 o'clock. Like I said, it cooked like almost 3 hours. Let's go ahead and alright. Alexa, set the timer for 30 minutes.
30 minutes, starting now.
Okay. So 5:30, I'll put the water up for the pasta, and we'll eat. So good, guys. All right, guys, so here is my plate. Yummy, yummy, yummy. This is what's for dinner tonight. Italian Sunday, nope, Italian Monday, Italian Funday Monday. There you go, guys, delicious. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Don't forget to hit the subscribers button when you subscribe. It really does help my channel grow, and I so appreciate it. Don't forget to hit that notification button with the bell so you guys can be notified every time I upload a new video. Like and share, comment down below, and thank you so much for coming into my home and my kitchen with me and creating. I love you guys. And I'll see you on the next video.